Now we turn to the latest on the war in Ukraine. The country's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy made a plea to U.S. lawmakers on a Zoom call yesterday. Minnesota Representative Dean Phillips was on that call. He joins us now with more on that conversation. Appreciate your time from Washington this morning.
It's great to be with you.
Okay, well, I want to ask, what was said on this call, and I know that it's hard to sum up, but what were your takeaways?
Well, my first takeaway, Shane, is that President Zelenskyy is one of the great leaders of our era. His courage, his fortitude, his ability to employ social media to generate support from the entire free world, I think are noteworthy and frankly historical. His plea to we members of Congress, both senators and members of the House yesterday, was quite simple. He needs our support. He needs planes, particularly Soviet-era planes that are part of Poland's arsenal right now. That is a distinct possibility, and we're working on that right now as a government. He had asked for a no-fly zone. Many of us understand the plea, but we have an obligation to prevent this war from expanding. And when you really get down to it, we have a responsibility to defend America first and foremost, economically, physically. But we also have a responsibility to defend American principles and values around the world. That includes freedom, liberty, and sovereignty. We're trying to balance literally the offensive elements of a madman, that's Vladimir Putin, with the risk to the entire world. It's not easy. President Zelenskyy understands that, but we do have an obligation to do more. Our sanctions are working. We will be sending more materiel and humanitarian aid to Ukraine here in the coming days. But we have a responsibility as Americans. I believe we should be leaders, not followers, and this is our time to shine. And supporting the Ukrainians is more than about Ukraine. It's about the principles and values that every single one of us in the United States holds dear.
It's probably the most challenging checker game or chess game that anyone's tried to play with. If we move this here, what happens here? So I can imagine these conversations are tough. Another hot topic was the idea of banning imports of Russian oil. Of course, the fallout would be the rising fuel prices for Americans. Now, I saw that you are in support of this, but the caveat was finding a way to mitigate that impact. What ideas are you exploring with that?
Well, there are a number of ways to do so. And by the way, that is our priority of ours. We have to mitigate the effects of this on American citizens. And the economics are real. If we limit or ban Russian imports, oil and otherwise, costs will go up. We as a government, just as we did during COVID, mind you, remarkable times require remarkable new policies. And I think this is a time for us to consider subsidizing the price of fuel. We are already opening up our reserves to reduce those costs. We can do so. This is not an either or, this is an and. I also wrote a bill and introduced it last week with a number of Republican and Democratic co-sponsors to ban travel amongst Vladimir Putin's inner circle, the oligarchs, government officials. We're trying to squeeze Russia in ways they've never felt before. And the sad truth is it's working. I have empathy, particularly for Ukrainians right now. I have empathy for the Russians, many of whom are literally marching in St. Petersburg, thousands of them, at risk of 15-year prison terms just for peacefully objecting to the war. If this was ever a time to be grateful to be an American, this is surely it. We have a responsibility, and we will follow through and make sure that this does not affect Americans in any way, shape, or form if we have something to say about it.
And I know time is of the essence here with all of these different types of ideas that we're talking about. When are we going to see some of these go into effect or these votes take place?
Well, I'm back in Washington right now. I believe we should be voting as soon as possible. We're back in session tomorrow. We cannot waste time. Every single hour counts. Children are suffering, parents are suffering, Ukrainians are suffering, and frankly, the entire free world is suffering as we watch this horrifying episode play out. So I believe we should take votes immediately. Anything we can to inspire the Poles to share their fighter jets with the Ukrainians. Anything we can do to further enhance the sanctions against Russia, anything we can do to provide more aid. We'll be considering that here in the next 24 hours, I do believe. I'm a loud voice to ensure that we do so because it is our responsibility. And as I said before, that means protecting Americans economically as well. There's no question prices have risen, the COVID effect. They might rise again because of the Putin effect. But we will persevere. We got to stick together. Let me just say this, the most important message to anybody watching is Vladimir Putin has watched with joy over the past couple of years as Americans have become divided, antagonistic towards one another. He knows he cannot beat us militarily, but he can by internal divisions. And I ask everybody watching, all of our better angels, to unify at this time. We're not Democrats or Republicans, we're Americans first. And we will persevere as long as we stick together.
You're right. We are all united in knowing that this has been horrifying to watch play out. So, Congressman Dean Phillips, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. The Fox 9 Morning News will be right back after this break.